Hi everyone, this is Perfume Coast, so welcome to my channel. Today we've got part 8 of series dedicated to underrated perfumes in my collection. So this video is all about Clean and Soapy profile. And without further ado, let's dive straight into the ocean of perfumes. And the first perfume I'd like to introduce to you is called Eau de Coton by Guerlain. It goes back to 2021 and it belongs to the line Le Métier Confidentiel, which is all about clean forward fragrances, which may be used both on skin and fabrics. And that in itself is a very attractive and outstanding concept, I think. Unfortunately, I hardly hear anyone talking about this line, which is a shame, especially now that many of us are in the transitional season, shifting from colder to warmer weather and craving our fresh, clean profile scents. Well, other releases belonging to the same line are Eau de Cashmere, Eau de Lingerie, Eau de Lit, and Eau de Secret. As you can tell by their names, each of them is dedicated to a particular fabric, and many of them are already on my wish list. So, on a practical side, I'd like to mention that this line is quite affordable, especially by the standards of Guerlain. Because a bottle like this will cost you 150 euros, and yes, it's EDT concentration. However, based on my experience with this specific scent, well, it's quite long-lasting. And longevity is quite comparable with the more expensive line of the same brand, L'Art and La Mate, the releases of which are such gorgeous perfumes as Angelique Noir, for example, or Cuir Beluga. Well, there you will have to pay about 350 euros for bottle. Well, the difference is quite significant. And if you compare the two lines, even the bottles are identical. It's just that some small nuances are probably missing here. However, let's take a look at what Fragrantica is giving us in terms of the notes. So what we have here is rather a cluster of notes than pyramid. And that does make sense to me because the scent is indeed a bit linear, but in the most beautiful way as always. So we have here white musk, cotton flower, linen, orange blossom and almond. Now, if I could use one adjective to describe this scent, the word would be utterly. Because it's utterly clean and fresh linen sheets, it's utterly expensive, luxurious hotel or spa. It's a lack of cleanliness coming from brand new cotton rather than the one taken out of washer dryer. One doesn't have any citrus notes, I think, but I clearly can detect this effervescent, sparkly citric note, probably coming from orange blossom. And so this fragrance continues being this utterly refreshing profile, providing the likes of sparkling handmade lemonade, perhaps. And that's an interesting comparison, by the way, because it's this beautifully queer combination of cleanliness and this fluidity that may be associated with a citric drink. Important to mention that this fragrance also provides a touch of aldehydic accord, which is literally just a hint of one. But that's precisely what gives this scent extra oomph and classiness, and, shifts this fragrance in a slightly vintagey territory. However, this, when vintagey is done right, is done in a modern way. So altogether places the scent into this unique, classy, timeless category. Well, I do realize I may sound a bit dramatic talking about this fragrance, which is essentially your clean scent. However, to me, it comes across as a lot more. It's very unique, it's very sophisticated and classy. So let me extend a bit more about the kind of aldehydic vibes that I'm feeling. Why it's well done in my view. Well, first reason because it's well blended and well balanced with other notes. And the other reason is because it's standing on the background of the notes rather than, appearing on its own. And the example I can bring here is, the picture when we are looking at an object or room that's lit by a sun, rather than looking straight away at the sun, which may as well blind us. And that's, I think, an interesting comparison because aldehydes are oftentimes pictured in the fragrance journals and magazines as these sunlit clouds. Well, again, despite the fact that its EDT concentration is quite long lasting, about 6 hours in my case. And because of all the characteristics and including aldehydic-like vibes, it's not your regular t-shirts and jeans clean scent, but something a lot more. In fact, I could easily wear this scent during important day meeting, equally during evening spring occasion as well. So it's your non-animalic but equally sophisticated alternative to such great releases as Chanel Number 5, including Low Edition, because Ylang Ylang to me does come across still as slightly overpowering. And the other one comparison I can come up with is Shalimar, which is extremely overpowering and carnal to me, while this one is not. So if you're like me, who is looking for their next clean forward scent, strong enough but without excessive aldehydes or overpowering notes, then this would be my big thumbs up recommendation for you. Well, next up, clean forward scent would be Castile by Penhaligon. And different to the first one, we're dealing here with a pyramid of notes. So according to Fragrantica, what we have here is orange blossom and petitgrain on the top. In the middle there's orange blossom, bergamot and rose. And finally in the base there's musk and woodsy notes. So this fragrance is dedicated to Castile soap. And of course Castile soap is olive-based hard soap from Castile region in Spain. Well, legend has it that this soap was brought to Europe in the 11th century and started its European journey from there, from this region. So, as far as the scent is concerned, it's orange blossom front and center, which is even supported by the notes listed because it's orange blossom in the middle and it's orange blossom on the top as well. And that's exactly what you're smelling, this soapy orange blossom, beautifully crafted and amplified by the note of petitgrain. However, the sort of USP of this scent is that this orange blossom was being excessively soapy, but in a good way, which is my favorite category of orange blossom. It also is on a sweet and warmer side without being indolic. So it's almost the likes of neroli to me, which, in my opinion, always comes across a bit sweeter and warmer version of orange blossom equivalent. So this release goes back to as early as 1998, and quite recently I've found out that sadly this scent had been discontinued, for which reason this review is sort of eulogy to this great fragrance. But I've decided to review it anyway because the world should know not only about great fragrances which are currently available on the market, but also about some old, not accessible or not yet accessible ones as well. And who knows, maybe one day Penhaligons will bring it back. So those of you who have ever visited Spain, specifically coastal parts, perhaps have noticed that pretty much everything, well, at least many things, smell after Castile soap. And that's precisely what this scent encapsulates. And when I say many things, I mean from hotel toiletries all the way to spaces like restaurants, cafes and airports. So if you want to get transformed to the shores of Spain, or maybe even time travel to the kingdom of Castile, well, try this one and try to find this one. So perhaps Penhaligons may again bring it back someday. So as far as the layers of this fragrance are concerned, it opens as extremely blasty and strong. However, this scent is not extremely long lasting. In my case, no more than 3 hours. Nonetheless, I still like this scent very much and surprised that it's been so little spoken about all these years. And finally, last fragrance for today's review would be the release of American brand Ouai, and it's called Dean Street. So equally to the first one, it's rather a cluster of notes rather than a pyramid, according to Fragrantica at least. So the notes are linden blossom, apricot, musk, citruses, magnolia, amber, and rose. So I just love this fragrance. That's in a nutshell the characteristic of this scent. If previous one had to do with soap, this one straight up beautiful and bubbly shampoo. To me, it's reminiscent of those shampoos they used to make in 80s and 90s, which were quite soapy and touch fruity. Also, it reminds me of soap bubbles that many of us used to make when we were little. So you can detect this fruity layer from the notes listed, coming from apricot and citruses, but they do not really come across as edible fruit, but rather as synthetic, beautifully embedded in the favorite shampoo. So this fragrance is also slightly bitter, apparently from linden blossom twigs, because I cannot necessarily detect any linden blossom as such, which I know very well. Again, this scent is quite linear, but in the most beautiful way. It's extremely long-lasting as well, without necessity to overspray it. It can last you easily all day. In my case, it's about 12 hours. So, to me, this scent is beautifully unusual for a clean, fresh scent due to its longevity mainly, but also because of the sweet reminiscences of childhood soap bubbles. And it's also quite straight unisex, I think. But that's it, guys. This is the last perfume for today video, as mentioned. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please provide your comments if any. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.